Okay. Well, I love your Essential Granny YouTube videos, and now that my oils have arrived, a bunch of questions popped into my head. Would you mind taking a couple minutes and answering some for me?
Sure.
Good, I brought a list.
Oh, great.
Okay.
It is a list.
It is. If I have a specific question, where do I go to find out about it?
Okay, well, you can try to call me if I'm not in a class or if I'm not busy with something else. I will certainly answer a text or a phone call if I can. But doTERRA's made it really easy by having doTERRA.com, where you can ask questions, you can see what other people have asked. It has a myriad of things on it. But what a lot of our people will do is they'll go to the Essential Life book, or they'll go to Modern Essentials book, which is a little bit more sciencey. This one has a lot of pictures and recipes and things of that nature, which makes it more, I appreciate this one a little bit more, but those people who are more sciencey brained would like the Modern Essentials maybe better. You'll find that once you're involved with it for a little while, you're going to have both books. You're not going to be happy without them. But it's very easy to look everything up alphabetically. It tells you what each oil does and how it works, and it also gives some recipes in both of these books. So there are a lot of ways to go about finding that information. That's just a couple of them. If you're looking for a specific recipe for something because you have something that you want to do really quickly and you don't want to do a whole lot of research, you can go to Pinterest, but make sure if you go to Pinterest, you're going to doTERRA Pinterest, not somebody else's, because there are a ton of recipes out on Pinterest where other people who have used over-the-counter essential oils that are maybe mixed with some fillers or a lot of fatty oils or whatever, and the oil is not as pure or it's not as strong as doTERRA. So you want to make certain that when you're following a recipe that has worked for someone else, that you're following a recipe that was working because it was with doTERRA, so that you're comparing apples to apples.
Yeah, so I just shouldn't just use anybody's recipes.
Right.
Okay. And so you already answered my other question on my list about where would I go to find ways to use the oils. So how do I properly store or transport my oils? Like, can I keep them in my car?
You can keep them in your car when you're in your car.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that I keep them in my car in the section where I keep my water bottles, simply because heat will make it, take away some of the medicinal properties of the essential oils. So in order to keep them nice and have them as long as you possibly can, I definitely wouldn't want them in high heat. So I carry mine in and out of the car with me, but like the wild orange that I carry all the time because it helps to keep my husband calm when he's driving long distances. That one I keep a little bottle of the wild orange in with the water bottles because
I thought maybe you had a little glass case that said in case of emergency, break glass. I understand the men and the driving things, but like in this winter weather, could you keep them out in the cold? Will the cold bother them?
I've not had one freeze.
Okay.
But again, any large temperature change I think probably isn't as good for it as just keeping it with you. So I mean, a lot of people will just have a little container of the oils that they use the most, and they'll carry them in and out with them, or they'll have the little keychain that we give out for those people who are having and who invite us into their home to do a class for their friends and their families. Those kinds of things are, you put them on your purse and you're carrying them with them, so you always have them with you. You're not going to leave them behind anyway. So.
That's really nice that if I have a party, I can get one of those.
You can.
Then what do I have to do to get it filled up? It doesn't come filled, does it?
No, but once you invite us into your home and we're sharing with your friends, we allow you to choose the 8 oils that you would use the most from our stash, our personal stash, and we'll fill them that night for you.
Okay, well, if I am sharing with family or friends, how should I tell them about doTERRA? And like, if there was one particular sample oil to give them, what would that be?
Okay, well, if I was sharing about doTERRA, I think the easiest way is to tell them what has worked for you, what doTERRA has done for you. Not somebody else's story, not just really kind of deal with what you know yourself because you've experienced it or you've seen it work in a particular way. My favorite sample to give out, my personal favorite sample to give out is a little tiny bottle of peppermint with some fractionated coconut oil in it so that it's ready to be used if somebody has a little bit of discomfort, head discomfort, or having some problems focusing, or even any kind of acidy kinds of things. We use that, and especially if there's a lot of stress, we'll smell it, and it helps to get rid of discomfort, you know, like in this area, or even in here, or here. So it does so many different things for so many different people. It's one of my favorites. So if I give that out, I usually give it with a list of things that they can, ways to support their bodies with it, so that they can begin to use it and experience how the essential oils work and how strong they are.
Getting back to my list here, we're talking about, I've read about carrier oils, and why do we need carrier oils, and can I use just any old oil?
If you're at home and you have your oils with you and you want to put some oils on your body, and you don't have what we typically use, which is fractionated coconut oil, you can use any fatty oil that is pure that you use to cook with, because the fatty oil, what it does is it binds to the essential oil so that you don't lose 65% of it to evaporation.
Wow, that's a
so
lot.
what it's doing is it's binding to it. You'll put it on your skin, and it's for when you place it on your skin. So you use both the fatty oil plus doTERRA, a drop or two. That's all you really need because of the strength and the purity. And it will just go in a bigger area, so it'll hold it on your skin long enough for your body to absorb it, so that it will work that way rather than being out in the air where it's not going to be as beneficial to you.
Okay, but I know some oils go rancid, so like in the recipe bottles, and they talk about putting in your drops of oil and then filling up with oil. Do you need a specific oil that it won't go rancid?
So when I first started with doTERRA, I work with herbs all the time, and I'm that herb lady. So my favorite oil at that time was grapeseed oil because it absorbs into your skin, into your body really quickly. So I was filling my roller bottles with the grapeseed oil. But what I found out 6 months later was that the oils that I didn't use in those roller bottles, what happened was I would open that bottle up and it smelled
Oh my.
really bad. And so I had to throw the bottle away because the roller itself is made of a plastic which
It absorbed
it. So I had to, and to put water in the roller bottles to reuse them. Anytime you have water, you have the chance of bacterial growth.
True.
So yeah, so it wasn't such a good idea. So I learned the lesson the hard way and had to throw a lot of my oils out because I didn't use the fractionated coconut because I knew better.
Okay.
Learn from my mistakes so you don't have to.
Yes. Well, I think you answered all my questions, but thank you so much for your time, and I am definitely going to keep watching your Essential Granny videos on YouTube. They are so good.
Thank you.
Thank you.